to get things done. When I come home, I don't want to have to do that. So I want a man that is already prepared to take on that role. Hey, let me take what weight off you that you don't need to carry, and let's split it, or let me harbor what you can't handle. You feel me?
Perfectly said.
So
Yeah.
that's what I mean by that.
She hit on it.
She's very submissive for her age. Honestly, I gotta say. I mean, that is a good answer. Was there something else, Donnie?
No, I'll remember that for later on the show.
Yeah.
Don't be surprised if I call you out on that same
Got
statement
you.
later on.
What was the term you used? You said, "Are we what?"
Huh?
Submissive.
Themselves.
Oh,
Sometimes I feel like I am, because like I look at me and like I say, like I got one kid. He's a 15. He's football, basketball, track. You know what I'm saying? I'm the type of person, like, I love to get out, have fun, vibe. Like, I'm a whole energy, but it's like when I meet men, it's like, oh, you're pretty, you're fun, this, but that's all they want. It's like they want me for a fun time, but they don't want me for a long time.
You can't get the relationship
right
out of
and
them.
so it's just like, if we kicking it, we having fun, and then we had sex, or we don't, it's cool, but then what happens after that? You know what I'm saying? And so men, they come and they say they want a relationship, but then they play games and they play the field. And so it's like, if I can give you my time being a mom, and you pick and choose when you gonna call me, it's like you got something else going on. Like, handle that. Because if I'm giving you my extra space and time and you can't do that, then I can't rock with you.
Yeah. And I completely understand that perfectly. So I wasn't going to talk about this till later, but since you brought it up now, I'll go ahead and talk about it now. What really sucks is it's usually based off who you are choosing. But the problem today is that it's so easy to choose those type of guys because they're the ones that have the balls to come and talk to you. They're the ones that usually are attractive enough to get you. They're tall enough, whatever it is about them that is attractive. It's probably attractive to multiple other women. If you look at Tinder studies, women only swipe right like on 5% of dudes. Like basically all the women are all swiping on the same guys basically. And like and Tinder literally stopped posting these studies because it was showing such bad numbers that basically all these women were all choosing the same type of guys. And so like that's what actually happens is you end up just choosing the wrong guys. If y'all this is a big debate that I like to have all the time. Should you lower your standards and choose the beta simp guys that are going to treat you better, that are going to want the relationships? I don't know. I think after you've slept with so many people, you can't really go backwards. Like you've already experienced certain things. And it's like, if you go backwards, you're just going to make that guy's life horrible. And he's going to be insecure. It's not going to work. So like a lot of women are in this really weird middle ground where like you don't know what to choose. Like you don't like y'all want a certain type of guy, but those aren't the type of guys that are going to be serious with y'all. Like that's and like y'all got to realize anytime y'all think a guy's attractive or like you have that burning genuine desire almost for him or something just based off of looking and talking to them, I promise you there's a lot of other women that got that same feeling that you did. And that's the horrible thing. And so it's like, well, what do? Do you downsize? Do you choose the 5'7" guy who makes $40,000, the average man? Or do you keep shooting up? It's like, but there's something called hypergamy that women are always going to shoot up. Y'all are always going to try to have the best that you can. It's in your DNA. It's literally hardwired because your body is thinking about having children. It's always thinking about that. And the only way to have children is for somebody to take care of you. Because if this was 2,000 years ago and you got knocked up by, or say you slept around and everybody knew you as like the town whore and you had, and like say like, nobody could tell whose son it was because there's no DNA test, stuff like that, you would die. You and your kid's life were going to die because nobody's going to provide for you. So it's in your DNA to look for that provider type of guy, to always shoot for the best one. That's why it's also sometimes in y'all's, it's kind of intrinsic for you to not want to sleep around, which is something that I'm sure you've learned a lot through religion, like, and it's something that's very hardwired in all of us, But yeah, I've tried to give advice for your exact situation all the time. And it's so hard because how can I tell you to downgrade, It's a really hard debate. Why don't you go? Because me and you debate this all the time, bro. So why don't you give her a good point also?
So I will say, honestly, as everybody said, she doesn't look 38. She looks pretty good for her age. But I will say this. The reason why a lot of the guys that you date, particularly, I guess, don't want to take you seriously is because you already have a child. And I don't want to use the C word, but I'm going to say pinhead. And what that means is he doesn't want to be made a weak survival man by taking care of somebody else's child. So you've already came with extra baggage on. You said you have a 15-year-old, so he would have to take care of you and him. Mm-hmm. And because you already have that child, he has an extra responsibility, but he doesn't have, honestly, a man that's taking care of another woman's child. He doesn't have the full authority because that's not his child. So you're still going to kind of have supreme rulership and reign when it comes to your child. It's going to be some certain things that you're not going to allow him to do because that's not biologically his child. And so that's the wrestle with coming as a single mother. A lot of men don't want to take that risk. Some are. I'm not saying because obviously you have a lot of men out here that do particularly marry and date single mothers, but they don't want to take care of another man's responsibility.
Yeah, and like I have a daughter, and I'm not with the baby, my mother's or her mother anymore, you know. And like she's a very relationship girl. Like as soon as we broke up, she had no trouble finding another guy, you know that. But I'm sure he's not this amazing height. I'm sure he doesn't have this crazy income, you know. She just kind of lower her standards, but she's happy, and I'm happy too because I want my daughter to grow up in another home with another strong male figure. So like there's like sometimes it's worth it to take the sacrifice even sometimes for your kids so they have the good role model. But it's hard, like he's saying, for certain guys to take that position. It's really hard because sometimes they grow attachment to that child and at any point it can be taken away from them. That is the saddest part about choosing to be a stepfather is like is that your kid could be taken from you at any moment because that once you spend, it's like a pet. Once you spend so much time with it, you're gonna love that thing regardless. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's the thing most men fear, honestly. Let's see. For the next question, I want to know what hobbies do y'all have? We'll start right here on this time.
Me? Oh, I don't know. I just love to do anything fun. I love to dance. Anything running, music. I'm just an adventurous person. I don't think there's anything that I won't try as long as it won't put me in jail or kill me. I mean, skydiving, bungee jumping.
You'll do all the fun shit.
Oh yeah, like I'm that friend. Call me for it all. You know what I'm saying? Like it all.
So not one hobby, but anything. You just crazy.
I'm down for whatever.
I'm just kidding.
Food, everything. Let's go. You know.
What about you? What's a hobby you got?
I'm really into singing myself.
I could see you being a singer.
Yeah, I like to sing. I'm really a homebody, so I'm like usually at home writing in my journal, listening to music. Like I really just be in my own zone.
That's a really good hobby. I feel like
Sing us a line for us.
I mean, if you're that type of person, please.
Like, not right now. My vocal cords, they not.
You need some tea with honey.
Yeah, that's exactly what I need.
What about you, bro? Why don't you let them know your hobbies?
So I like to work out, of course, read books. I'm a big anime watcher. Right now, I'm not watching anime. I'm watching Living Single, so that's another story. That and eating out at restaurants and going to bars. That's about it.
Okay. What about you? What hobby you got?
I like working out, going to the gym, getting these glutes right.
The gym. That's everybody's hobby these days.
Right? That's good.
Yeah, it's everybody's healthier, I hope.
I like writing. Just like getting way like more into writing and things like that.
What kind of writing? I'm curious.
So I have a quote page, but I like just writing like poems and things like that. I write like songs that don't ever get released.
Spit a haiku for us right now.
You got to team up with the singer so y'all can work together.
I'll spit a rhyme.
Yeah, if you got one memorized, do it.
It might be a little embarrassing.
Okay.
It's a little explicit because it's like when I write, sometimes I write like raps, but it's not like really my image. I'm just like, I have fun with it and I feel like I'm decently good at it.
Might be some erotic Meg Thee Stallion stuff.
Yeah, it definitely gives Meg Thee Stallion, that's for sure.
I mean, that's funny.
But yeah, I don't know if I'm rap for y'all.
Okay. That's fine. You don't have to. I wouldn't want to either. What about you? What's your biggest hobby?
So I recently got into tennis. I also am into fitness. I like cooking, writing, reading.
Tennis is really good.
I know. It's actually a really good workout.
I honestly think tennis is a really good sport for people to do with their spouse for some reason. I don't know why. I've never done it with one, but just from playing it in my passes I've always thought, man, if I had a girl that would want to do this, it'd be a really good sport to do together. Now I want to know, did you grow up in a 2-parent household or a single parent household? We'll start on your side this time.
Single parent household.
Single parent.
Is this with father or mother?
Yeah. Which one? Which single parent was it? Your father or your mother?
Mother, but then I went to my father. So.
At what age?
12.
Oh, cool. What about you?
They were together when we were younger, and then they divorced later on.
Okay.
Like around what age?
12.
Okay. Mm-hmm. What about you, bro?
Typical stereotype black man, single parent home.
Single mother? Yeah. Okay. What about you?
My parents were together until I was 18.
18.
Yeah.
Hey, they stuck it out
hit
for
the
the
mark.
kids.
Yeah.
For real. What about you?
I'm a daddy's girl.
Your daddy's girl?
Yeah,
Okay.
dad.
Single dad.
Mhm.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, you took really big accountability earlier and talked about stuff, and I feel like you got that from being raised by a father, because that's definitely a trait that I don't see. That like when you did that, I was kind of shocked, because it's just something we don't see a lot on the show, to be honest. Like
Thank you.
it's something that you very rarely see, actually. I just want to know. Well, let me read the soup chats really quick. I want to keep up with them tonight. The first one from Joe Cole. We got $2. Spending the last of my welfare check to support. Thank you, Joe Cole. I needed that, man. You don't, but hey, keep your welfare, bro. I'm not trying to. I don't want you to be under the street. Oh, Michael Meatruck with $1. Thank you so much, bro. The biggest mod in on YouTube in the United States. Right there. Thank you, Michael, making it hail the pennies on us. $5 from Humbre of the House. Would the women delete all their personal social media for a marriageable husband? No exceptions. Only social media allowed is business or family. So would y'all delete all your personal social media for a marriageable husband? I'm guessing that means like a really good guy, like a very like hot, like the perfect guy. Would you?
Already on it.
Already on it. She deleted immediately. What about you?
No, same. Already on it.
Already on it. What about you?
Yeah, it's gone.
If it's for
What
the good guy.
Yep, you got that work.
Wow, this is a really good
Yeah.
panel. We
Yeah.
never have
Interesting.
panels
This
like
is
this.
really interesting.
We've had a lot of panels where it's mostly the girls say, "Fuck no, I ain't delivering my shit." Like I'll choose that all day. Hey, black men do talk, man. What is up? Thank you
Hey,
for
shout
pulling
out
up,
to
bro.
you. I don't know if that's streets,
streets,
but shout
yeah.
out to you, bro.
It is probably streets, yeah. Dude, what's up, streets? Thank you, bro. Now I want to know, what can y'all improve on? What's something that we can get better at, so we're better in a relationship? We'll start with you again.
I would say vulnerability. I recently learned that I have a very hard time being vulnerable with people in general, but especially men. When it comes to men, I'm very, I guess, hard body. Like I try to act as though I have everything together, like I have no emotions. So I definitely am working on just being more vulnerable.
Hey, you don't want to push away the perfect guy. It sounds like you got a lot going for you, so you don't want to push away like the really good one, acting like that, acting a little stuck up there or something. Your pride's gonna get to you. So what about you? What's something that you can improve on, you think?
Definitely pride. I definitely do have a lot of pride, and it's like, again, I was like saying about how I know I can be like nonchalant sometimes, like I don't care. So just also showing more emotion and things like that. And I've dealt with, I would say, what the public may say high value men, and when you deal with the high value man, I feel like they also have that, like they have that kind of alpha male stance, like, oh, you want,
They got the pride too.
yeah, exactly. And then that's it, because I'm in my prideful zone, you're in yours. Well then, damn, like that's it.
What's it called? It's called the whenever they're looking for planets that like could be habitable, they call it in the Goldilocks zone. And it's like that's what women have to do. Y'all have to find a guy in the Goldilocks zone,
No,
because if you go too high value, he got too much pride. There's no way he's gonna settle for you. But you gotta find the guy in the Goldilocks zone. You know what I'm saying? I just thought of that. That's really funny. So what about you, bro? What's something that you can improve on, you think?
Me.
Yeah.
Honestly, bro, like we was talking about earlier, my weight, trying to cut down.
Yeah.
Like I've been working on my humility as far as like when it came to be RP. Like honestly, like I said a couple of days ago, I honestly have came to the recognition, as Kevin Sanders said. I know we talked about it, women having the need to be right. I have come to the understanding of having to humble myself in the sense of needing to be right, and into more of like having a fair understanding and sharing my perspective, and rather that person changes their mindset and what's up, that's on them.
Yeah, like putting your perspective out there and just letting it see what happens, kind of, instead of trying to force it on people.
For sure.
Yep, I feel that completely. You know how me and you are. Like, I'm the same way as him, guys. Like me and him are the same when it comes to debating about stuff. So what about for you? What can you improve on?
I would probably piggyback off of the previous answer, vulnerability, not, being so hard body, I guess, acting like I have it all together and not needing anybody for anything and being misindependent. And, it's hard to break out of when that's all you know. You're raised a certain way, so you act a certain way in adulthood. And I would also honestly say my attitude, because when I get angry, it'd be over. It's over.
I gotta ask really quick though, since it's kind of feels like a trend. Is this vulnerability issue Is it because of trauma? Is it because something
for
happened
sure,
with the
for
guy?
sure,
Yes.
So
for
this is
sure.
because other guys fucked up or did certain
Yeah.
things. So
Not
now you're
Not
like,
even
It
guys.
could be
Yeah,
family
period.
members,
Okay.
People,
friends.
period.
okay.
Friends,
So, but
like,
stuff has happened to made y'all like at this point where there's a lot of guys that are kind of getting the shit in the stick because
Yeah.
of something else that happened to you in your past, though.
yeah.
Unfortunately.
I feel like
Unfortunately,
I'm
yeah.
hyper aware now. Like, and my friends have actually told me like they feel like I look for it, but it's because when you have been right so many times about certain things,
Mhm.
you're like,
I
oh,
can see
again.
it. I can
Oh,
see it.
Yep,
It's coming.
again. You know what I
At
mean?
least you're seeing the red flags. So, what about you? What can you improve on? You think?
I'd have to say probably vulnerability and patience because of the same, like I could have feelings for you and I may not tell you just because I feel like, oh, you don't deserve it, or maybe you might not take it the same way, or maybe if I'm giving myself, it might be too soon or too something. So I'll kind of sit back, see how you feel and, put myself out there, maybe not. And I'll probably say patience just because, like I said, I'm a daddy's girl, so we had it together, and I'm a mom, so I got it together. So
You expect any man to be the fucking man,
so
yeah.
it's like I have to tell my friends sometimes it's frustrating. Like I shouldn't have to tell you how to date me. Like I'm easy. Like I said, I'm that girl. Like whatever you want to do, I'm with it. So if I have to tell you to be consistent, if I have to tell you to call me, if I have to tell you, it's like sometimes people say, well, men aren't told or taught, you know what I'm saying, how to date women. Like, that they have a Southern girl or other women, they just let them sit back and don't let them do, don't make them do certain things. There are women that